Yeah, after probably the best group stage ever in WGL history, we move into the playoffs, and it's 2 Chinese opening up that day. From here on out, it is all best of 5. Best of 3 is for group stages. Playoff time is best of 5 time. All of these players have $1,200 guaranteed, but of course they want more. They are hungry. Fly, still hungry after his WCG victory. Fortitude, as hungry as he ever was this year. Yeah, the January was pretty good when he defeated ELL and Rogue Warriors in the Gold League team finals. But afterwards, it was a slump. His rise after eliminating TH in the wildcard qualifier is second to none. The average match time for Fly, only 15 minutes. Fortitude needing a little longer with 20 minutes. I think in the middle, that should be hero kills. Fly, of course, as an orc, high up there with 12. In general, this tournament is a lot about hero kills and is a lot about sappers. So curious if we will see that here. But of course, the story going into this is Fortitude slaughtering Lin and Focus back to back. Can he eliminate the third orc as well?
Yeah, Fortitude has been showing some amazing games and also a great competitive mindset. He's been playing different strategies and he was not afraid to put everything on the line when he had to. Against Lin, he went for a Fire Lord tower push in the deciding game to kick out the greatest orc of all time. And against Focus, there were some sneaky creep routes in there, some risks being taken. It seems like Fortitude is once again in the right mental place to perform really, really well. He was sounding very frustrated the last couple of months before this tournament, getting prepared for others. The performances weren't there, but now his head is in the right space again, and he's just playing out of his mind. But so is Fly. Yes. His plays before in the group stage, his wins over the Undeads were just completely out of this world. Insane performances by Fly, who is, in my opinion, looking the strongest up to this point.
Shout out to everyone who got up with us early, 8 a.m. here in Europe at least. We got the map picks and bans, Amazonia to start the day. We got Echo Isles and Last Refuge for Fortitude. And of course, we got Northern Isles and Turtle Rock here as well. I was still in the best of 3 mindset. The picks, the bans then, Terrana Stand and Concealed.
Terrana Stand, that ban we definitely expect, and Fortitude removes Concealed Hill. Now, in the past, this would have always been the Twisted Meadows ban, but as we mentioned now multiple times, in the WGL, the map was a little bit different. Twisted was removed in favor of Turtle Rock, and for a lot of these series, it seemed like TR just took the spot of TM, with a lot of humans vetoing it all the time. Can be very difficult to creep your AM up quickly. The opponent can get out of control quite impressively. Militia creeping so effective here, and also fast expanding really hard to do. So it seems like Turtle Rock a really tough map for human, but apparently Fortitude prefers it over Concealed Hill.
Okay, let's see how that goes, and if he's going for an expansion this time. Rather one base and rifle focused his playstyle was. Yoda cast this is. And we'll see how Fly plays against that, probably with a strong TC. Does he find a valid weapon against the rifle pushes? Remo, this is Fortitude's 7th WGL. And take a guess how many games he lost, series he lost against Orc. In all 7.
It's not 0, is it?
It was 0 until winter of last year. It is exactly 1. That is the semifinal against Lin. He is so good in this matchup. His burrow pushes. Everybody fears them. In the direct comparison, by the way, it's insane. It is 5-5 in matches. It is 12-11 in favor of Fly in maps. They are trading games back and forth. They faced each other twice in August, 3 times in August of this year. 2 matches went to Fly, 1 match went to Fortitude. And here is our opening match of the day. In the upper right for the Lao Pao Esports Club, it's Fortitude. And in the bottom left, we got the World Cyber Games champion, Fly. Who's going to take the lead in this first quarterfinal of the day?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get settled in for an amazing game of Warcraft. Starting out on Amazonia, seems like the players feel this must be the most balanced map. This is the one map that remains after the losers' picks have been chosen, which is sort of surprising. In the months past, it was considered that this is supposed to be a fairly good map for Orc, as the Farseer can start off with a lightning shield creep really quickly, and finally level up fast himself as well. The human can always creep very fast, at least the first camp of the game, thanks to Militia. For the Orc, it's a little bit harder oftentimes, but the lightning shield, you can do it very well. However, for that you need a Grunt and a Shop to heal up after. And Fly is playing without Grunt, without Shop, with a fast tech on AZ. This build is very popular and played a lot on other maps, but here it's very surprising to see, which I imagine Fortitude wasn't expecting, but he seems to be scouting.
Indeed, he's going for it. Double burrow before Rax for Fly. Interesting build. Instant aggression probably, sends the peon over to scout and uses the wolf to creep. Fly comes in prepared. Maybe TH was there to help him a little, to creep a little. Lightning shield on the creep. That's not the greatest start for the human. At least he got the item. At least he got the renegade. But Fortitude not willing to give up. Oh, some work. Because what are the creeps doing? It's rigged.
Yeah, the elemental got purged right there. This is why this was so painful. He couldn't tank anymore with the water elemental.
Oh, so close. Militia versus wolves. Who's gonna get it?
Went to the Archmage. Good experience for him. And here we go, pushing into the main. But he can't get the burrow, he can't get the racks. Preventing the shop, which is kind of nice, but only really painful if the orc has to heal, which is not the case right now. A little bit of these militia here hurt as well, slightly. But on this map, you're supposed to start off with a level 2 right away, easily on the AM. And that is absolutely not what we're seeing.
Indeed. So Fly's game plan must be to prevent the early pushes, strong early pushes. And so far he's doing a good job. Keeping the Archmage on level 1 on Amazonia is so rare. Granted, that wasn't entirely his doing, as the creeps got involved. But still, good game for him. The wolf harass continues, and it's a little similar to Focus on Northern Isles, where the wolves did so much and Fortitude's tech was very, very late. Didn't come online.
Yeah, the arcane not being upgraded, that looks a little bit greedy. That tower had been done for a while. Maybe Fortitude thought that the wolves weren't going to be coming back, but they certainly did. The wolf is always at the door. And there's 1 or 2 more peasants here close to falling. Arcane being upgraded now, finally. But that is quite late. And this AM, man, what a sad game. Still not level 2. Wants to just be left alone. Get the green camp now. And then he'll finally have the aura.
Prior to this game, we introduced a new feature on the Back to Warcraft channel, by the way. You can now vote with your channel points, and 70% of the votes went to Fly. Big favorite here.
You got the last hit with the grunt.
Oh.
The AM is still not level 2. This is a ferociously brutal game by Fly. We haven't seen many kills yet, but he is just giving no inch to Fortitude.
Yeah. And this is kind of similar to what the semifinal last year looked like, when Fortitude played a wonderful tournament, but was facing Lin in the semifinals on the big stage. It was a 0-3 and absolutely no chance. So for the group stage, Fortitude's game plans were good enough, but if you give Fly some time to play around it, he finds solutions, apparently. How do you get back from this? In the game against Focus on this map, Fortitude was trailing behind as well and then went for this super greedy red spot that wasn't punished. Might be an option here as well.
It seems like Fortitude just got completely caught off guard here with the Farseer being aggressive right away, which is so unusual on AZ. With that shop and barrack skipped the way we saw for Fly, I wonder how would that have worked out against the Firelord tower push? Probably not that well,
Nope.
but I guess that's unlikely to be seeing on the first map when 40 revealed it earlier in the tournament already. This AM is still level 1. He could have grabbed level 2 by now, but I guess he didn't find the opening. The Kobold is getting stolen away. The Farseer hits level 2 before the AM. That is a complete disaster.
Where's he supposed to creep now? The safe camp's gone. shop is a little out in the open. Fly is pulling back a little, getting some items, creeping with the TC as you should be. Wow. Fly punishing Fortitude really, really hard. Good thing is, still creep camps for the MK, and he's not that late compared to the TC.
Fortitude with level 2 here is going to start to go harassing. And ideally, as the ORC, you would love to creep the natural and then expand fairly fast. We see that a lot on many maps. But on AZ, it's really hard to do. It's a tough creep camp. The opponent is always close by. Amazonia, a very small map. So for now, it's Fly still creeping up quite a bunch. Also, lots of experience on this Farseer. This is something we're seeing more and more in the rifle style once again. When you play against breakers, Farseer hardly does anything. He falls off really hard. But against rifles, Farseer will always have some value.
Oh my, Scourge, Bone Chime. Sometimes this item in this matchup isn't too great when you're playing very Shaman heavy. But Fly is going for grunts, is going for raiders, has the TC. That's going to be a lot of healing down the road. And Footman pick up as well. 40 needs a big move very soon to get back into this game. Fastest out on the case, and he has to town portal from his shop to the main.
That TP being gone now is going to make creeping on the map quite dangerous. And the heal scroll was stolen. Fly took it away from the human shop, where Fortitude now has no heal scroll, no TP, no invuln, no level 3.
Is this
very few things he can be proud of right now.
Is this a perfect game so far? For Fly?
Pretty much, yeah. I didn't see a mistake.
If you don't see mistakes, no one probably did. Yeah, hero focus. TC's level 3. Farsi is close to 3. We don't have many priests up, so even dispelling wolves is a tough challenge. Maybe a big mana potion? He's not close to level 3 even. Another interception. This rifleman is gone. And so is probably the game.
Fortitude gonna make his stand over here. He had great comebacks before in the other matchups against ORC. But here he's facing a greater disadvantage than I think he ever has in the group stage. Fly, patient for now. Not committing in too deep just yet. He's threatening the Stormbolt, or the Stomp that is. And we're gonna see it now finally. With the Lightning Shield on top right away. No Dispel yet. Lots of damage. Here comes the Dispel finally. But so little damage output from the human side.
We've seen yesterday by Focus, he was very hesitant to go for these Lightning Shield Stomps, and Lin didn't even use them, so I thought, okay, are they going out of fashion? Fly shows that it's still a very good spell to use. Militia are here, Grunter at the right spot, Raider still alive, MK dropping low. There are a couple of kills for Fortitude for sure, but yeah, you see how this fight goes. Just look at his supply. Fortitude also 1,000 gold. Not able to spend it because his lumber is so low. He had to use the militia to creep, and the lightning shield is probably getting a quad kill here. Oh man. Oh, Invul just barely gets him away. Just picked that up from the camp. Farseer has tons of mana still left, by the way, and he wants this hero kill. Gets the vanilla surround against an Invul, which is gonna run out here in a second, and that should be the end of our first map. Invuln over. Doesn't have mana for Stomp. Oh, AM actually gets out. Oh, what? Never mind. Purge. Chain Lightning. The hero dies in the game. Must be over, but Fortitude is still staying in this, hoping to somehow get back. But Ensnare after Ensnare, so many kills. TC level 4. And that's the GG. I've rarely seen a more one-sided opening to a day than this one. Fly wearing, is it a dog on his shirt? Not too sure, but he's certainly hungry for more.
Terrifying performance game 1. Fly with a really smart game plan, going against the grain, going against the meta. As I said at the beginning of that game, everyone expects the Farseer Lightning Shield creep, and with that the human being left alone for a long time in the early game, getting level 2 themselves very easily, and then moving out on the map. But here Fortitude was under pressure right away. And of course, to make matters even worse, the creeps purged the water elemental, so he couldn't even finish the first camp. Everything went wrong on that map. But the good thing is we're in the best of 5, so I guess there's enough maps to make up for it for Fortitude. However, Fly is not showing any flaws so far.
Absolutely not. Not losing his hero, not even getting his hero in any danger, really. That was, yeah, as I said, pretty much close to a flawless game. So now it's up to Fortitude. That was the neutral map. From now on, it's gonna be Fortitude's home turf in the first map. Hopefully he can brush this off quickly. Is the pressure too high? Is Fly's level of play too high? How does the game look if not for the first camp? He really has to let go of this. Not think about it too much. Not think about the RNG that was maybe in place. The last hits here. Oh, sweet. And the aggressiveness of Fortitude never came to show. Because of that early game, of course. His next last hit, one after the other. What is it with Fly that... Also the WCG Grand Final, he looked really dominant. Where is this coming from?
Yeah, he just has... He's been practicing a lot lately, and he just has the perfect game sense at the moment. We saw that against Moon, always in the right place, always doing the right thing. Here, the creep jack, the map presence, the movement was also perfect. And especially against the Undeads before, what he showed there, how he was amazing all of us when we all thought he was about to overextend, but Fly always knew what to do. He's got that perfect understanding currently of how much he can get away with and how he can cripple his opponent at any moment. And it's insanely scary. Yeah.
Let's not count out Fortitude yet, but indeed, Fly is looking hot. Three-time finalist, a one-time WGL winner, making his way back into the top would be pretty amazing for him. Fortitude now. His comeback has to start on Last Refuge. If you're down 2-0-2 against the Fly, that's mission impossible.
Yeah, Last Refuge should work out a lot better. I think that might be the best human map nowadays in the pool, if we disregard Terranostan, which of course always gets vetoed. You can go for the Shadow Priest early. With that, you have a little bit of Dispel. You can get level 2 fairly reliably. You get rid of some of the wolves, which is really helpful. And most importantly, with rifles here, you can creep well, and there's lots of safe camps for the MK second to go for. This can look very, very differently now. But the thing is, Fly, of course, knows this is a possibility. He must have studied the game that Lin was playing against Fortitude before and was here on Last Refuge, where Lin got off to a really strong early game, but then Fortitude turned around in the late game with really good execution of MK and rifles. So I wonder now if perhaps Fly is going to have something special prepared, tailor-made, maybe something that's not even 100% reliable, but has a lot of potential because he's up a map now, so Fly can afford to roll the dice a little bit.
That's true. Curious about this as well. And what's Fortitude's plan? Will he stick to his guns, his predictable guns? And then it's up to the execution of Fly and how to defend this? Will we see Mercam pulls? Can this be punished? The early game, once again, super decisive for the outcome of this match. Fly on the left-hand side, Fortitude on the right.
Fortitude started off with a lot of diversity and strategy in the lower bracket against Lin. We saw Fire Lord tower push, we saw rifles, and we saw fast expansion. Against Focus, it was a little more straightforward, a lot more rifles once again. That is what we're expecting here, but Fly surprised us on map 1. Maybe Fortitude can do it on map 2.
Right, off we go. The upper right-hand side, we got the champion of the second Gold League in spring in 2016, a grand final against 1-2-0. We all remember. In the bottom, Fortitude. Never a final yet, but 2 top 4 performances. Can he make the big jump and cause the big upset this time in Winter?
Archmage, I think the only viable option here. If you're feeling really crazy, you may want to go MK, but that is quite risky indeed. On Terranostan, very popular, but that one is vetoed always by the Orc. So AM versus Farseer. And a Peon Scout moving across the map. That one, of course, designed to look and scout, but I think his main purpose is actually to do something about the Shadow Priest. So, does he just want to try to prevent the Shadow Priest, or might Fly even want to steal the Shadow Priest? If he gets that early on against Water Elementals, that is super strong for the Orc as well. Both very strong for both sides, of course.
Okay. This, by the way, is Fly's first gold playoff performance in 2 years. Sounds weird, man. He was oftentimes eliminated in the group stages recently, but this is, as we said, the strongest Fly in 2 years, so it shouldn't surprise many of us. Fortitude is going for the little green, and that is not the steal. Maybe
the peon block.
Oh wow! No! This poor Shadow Priest, the second early game. That's not going Fortitude's way so far. Lots of mana has to be invested to heal that Shadow Priest up. Nice little move from Fly.
How next level is that? He knows he can't prevent it. He knows he can't steal it because he has the 1 borrowed tech. But what he can do is put the peon in the perfect position, block him, put lots of damage on him, and maybe even force a kill from the creeps. Doesn't quite get that. So it is here the Shadow Priest for Fortitude, which does make quite the difference. And now you can start dispelling the wolves. Normally the way you do it is you dispel one of the 2 wolves that were summoned, and with only 1 wolf you can deal fairly easily. You wait for the next set of wolves to be summoned again, you dispel that, so this should be a lot easier for the AM. But again, he doesn't finish the whole camp, only 1.4, and I hope this time 40 gets to level 2 a little bit easier, because if he doesn't, this is going to be a tough early once more.
Absolutely. Is he going for the north already to apply some pressure to the base to cancel stuff there again? Can't really afford that on level 1, but if there's a human who doesn't care about level standards and timings, it's definitely Fortitude.
Oh my god. This was his play. He woke up the creeps, hoping that the end snare would land on the Shadow Priest. Are you serious?
That's not a coincidence. That is all planned.
I was wondering, why is he waking up the creeps? Is he expecting militia for an expansion? Very unlikely. It looked a little bit weird, but this is what I mean. Fly, he just has the perfect understanding. His intuition for the game currently is unbelievable. This is final level 2 for the AM, so it's sort of better, I guess, than the first map already. But the Shadow Priest dying, that hurts.
Yeah.
With the AM reaching level 3, normally then you have the Brilliance Aura. Really good mana regen on the Shadow Priest. You can use more dispels later on. But Fly eliminates that creep. And you know what? The Shadow Priest is pretty expensive. 195 gold.
Exactly. Fly floating in 700 gold, waiting for his tech to finish. And again, no pressure to his base. That's what eliminated Lin. That's what eliminated Focus. The dives for the lodges, for the burrows. Absolutely not possible here. And Fly, of course, knows exactly where Fortitude is. Can't dodge him for a second. We got an end snare on the grunt, but the units that have to retreat are the footmen.
Heal Salves will be able to heal those grunts up once again fairly soon. We have the TC coming and the Lodge. Pretty standard here so far. Grunt Shaman against Rifles. Pretty balanced in the late game. Both can certainly win the later stages, and the 50 supply fights. It's a lot about levels and items. Mountain King against TC, Clap versus Stomp. That's usually the story of the late game.
Yeah, and Fortitude is not moving away from his playstyle of the group stage at all. Going Rifles, going Casters, no Mass Breakers. Deny. Okay. But another Footman lost. And this one would probably die as well.
And Fly again finds the opening to be as annoying as he can. He might get surrounded here. Okay, this is a bit of an overextension.
Fly and his
Unless
heroes.
he gets out. No way. If he gets the rifle, this is worth it.
Absolutely.
And he gets out and he gets the rifle! Well, that is just absurd.
Fly makes Fortitude look like a level 24. Shaman are coming.
This so well. It's insane. I'm still thinking back to that end snare in the early. Realizing that the Shadow Priest is in the perfect position to get ensnared. Who does that? And AM almost getting surrounded.
Oh no. Oh no.
This is looking rough, dude.
Yeah.
This is looking real rough.
Yeah. It's like a replay of the semifinal against Lin. ORC knows exactly what to do. ORC punishes Fortitude incredibly hard. Of course, Fly had 6 games to work with to analyze this. And they met each other during DreamHack, so he knew exactly what to do. And Fortitude may be a little stubborn, has to consume the item immediately to keep that Archmage safe. Because the Farseer, of course, knows what's up.
Oh, Stormbolt, surround the Farseer. Don't tell me he's walking out. Okay, at least he's stuck. It's gonna be a TP forced.
Close though. The creeps are still bashing these peasants. And level 2 TC. Going for the expansion soon, I guess. Okay, Farseer TP'd out. Is home again. Still smooth sailing for Fly. Oh, no peon actually. It's not expanding it.
I think it's walking over from the main right now, and then it's gonna try to set it up soon. Fortitude's gold is still looking pretty good. Could go for some heal scrolls perhaps if he wants. Needs a bit more levels. Same is the case for the TC. This map also not so good for tier 2 creeping. For the Orc on Concealed Hill, for example, it's wonderful. You creep the natural, and you creep maybe 1 green plus the merchant. Boom, level 3 TC right there. Super safe to do, very easy with the medium armor of the creeps. Here's a lot more difficult. Lots of heavy armor on the creeps, which much favors piercing damage, which of course means the rifles are having a good time. And the MK is now close to level 3, but not quite there yet. The TC does have the level 3. And you know what else he has?
Yep.
Big mana pop.
Pretty big mana potion indeed. On the other side, we got one of mana stealing and a normal mana potion. So good equipment for the Mountain King as well. But not having level 2 Brilliance Aura hurts. Heal scroll on both sides. Fly is going in for the push. He's bloodthirsty.
The bash, or the Stormbolt it was, I guess, before the Stomp. There's no Dispel against this Lightning Shield, by the way. Now there was. Finally. Heal Scroll used right away. That was an early Heal Scroll by Fortitude, and his only one.
Yeah, and we see the problem when you don't play Breakers, when you play the Fortitude style with rifles. How do you stop this TC? Yeah, you can throw some hammers. Yeah, you can threaten this. There's an invul. There should be an invul. There's a Heal Scroll. Here we go. And more mana, and another Stomp, and he's just owning this fight. Oh, Water Elemental blocks. Might be purged. No, TC just walking out of that fight.
I think that heal ward was up for 150 milliseconds before I was killed. Fly, old man, still good reflexes.
Not even the oldest player in the tournament. Moon and Mikael beat him to that. Okay. Big mana potion gone. That's silver lining, I guess.
I suppose so. TC going back to the main. But it seems a mana potion well invested if this expansion is coming through, which certainly seems to be the case here. Water Elemental scouting, but scouting is all it's going to be able to do to this Expo. It certainly doesn't have enough damage, and it's going to be done here in a second. MK though, he's level 3. AM going to get level 3 as well. And the hilarious Flute of Accuracy, hello! Okay. Fortitude is finding some wind in his sails again.
He's definitely surviving. This game is better than Amazonia, for sure. Even though he couldn't unfold his early game as much as he would like to. Expo is about to be up. Shaman deals with the Water Elemental. But Fortitude knows now. Fly is having a little bit of an issue with the 2 creep camps combined here. This Rock Golem turns out to be a sturdy one. A little bit of creeping time. They want the heroes. Archmage level 3. Brilliance Aura 2. Clap level 2. Wolves level 2. Not Chain Lightning. We definitely saw lack of priests.
Alright, Fortitude. It seems like his time is running out. The expansion is up for the opponent, so Fortitude pretty much has to go all in. Always a dangerous position. If it fails, of course, the game is lost. But 40 was able to make these all-ins work quite well in the group stage before. Maybe he can do it again. He is with a slight supply deficit. And Fly is going to have more and more units streaming in.
Yeah, and Fly has the better army as well, I think. 2 Raiders for lockdown. And then the execution. Heal Scroll and Heal Ward, Inmove Potion again. As we said plenty of times now, this tournament is a lot about hero focus. And with the Fragile Archmage, with the Fragile Farseer, this could lead to kills pretty early on. Fortitude, are you calling the police? Not really. Just, quote-unquote, a rifle push. He sees himself under the gun with that expansion up.
Illusions on the TC trying to bait a Stormbolt.
Clap on only Illusions and Wolves. That wasn't too great. Okay, now he dispels. Archmage
Speed Scroll TC coming in from the other side. The Lightning Shield and the Stomp connects big time.
And he couldn't go for the dispel here. The priest all stunned. Little bit of healing going on. And again, the heal ward is cancelled after a split second. Stomp Lightning Shield. Once more, the AoE is absurd. And he still has a heal scroll to work with. Fortitude trying to power through this. And guess what? All of a sudden it works. Cow hits the deck. Is it time to catch up now? Somehow. 15 supply lead. Still big damage with that Farseer level 2. Fly is in the middle. Wants to get this TC back. And he doesn't even need this TC.
Yeah, he got the hero kill here. 40 did, but there was so much damage landing on that first hero. Didn't go towards the army. So still lots of army left now for Fly. He's especially got a lot of Shaman. And guess what? The TC's coming back from the shop. He's got the heal scroll. He doesn't have the stomp. Otherwise, it would be GG instantaneously.
He can block, though. He's pretty healthy. Not willing to. Unbelievable. How many units did Fly lose in this series? Like 4?
GG.
Ungodly performance by Fly. Such a dominator.
Would love to see the cam by Fortitude.
Ooh.
What's his face looking like?
Dude, that is not safe for work, man. There's children watching.
Yeah, that might be a very blank stare with wide open eyes. If I was playing against an opponent like this, I would be asking myself, like, what the hell? What am I supposed to do? Like, where's an opening? What can I even attempt? Where are the mistakes? What can I punish?
I wouldn't even go that far, man. For me, it's like, who am I? Where am I? He hits him like a truck. This is... That's the most one-sided series of the entire tournament so far.
And you know what the scary thing is? We knew Fly is a beast against Night Elf. We saw that at WCG. He's always been a beast against Undead, and we were confirmed that again here in the group stage when he destroyed these Undeads. And now we see him against Human.
Yep.
And he's just as scary.
Yep. Also, in the WCG quarterfinals, he eliminated Lin. That means his Orc Mirror isn't too shabby either.
Yeah, there's no Orcs outside of him in the top 8, but if he keeps playing like this, I see him as one of the top favorites. Perhaps the top favorite. The highlight reel here is just one amazing play after the next. If you want to be very critical, I guess you can point out that there was no invul on the TC in the late game. But the thing is, if the TC goes down there, it takes so much effort from the entire human army that the rest of the Orc forces can punish that very well. And even if the TC falls, who's usually the carry, Fly was easily enough ahead in that game to recover from that loss. Yeah. Because of all those great plays in the early game, in the mid game. Fly on his way to make this a perfect series.
This is a Flylight reel. TC is back.
True.
TC is back. Just right clicks are enough at this point with a little bit of healing. Aura, of course. At this point, the game is long over.
Oh my god, dude. Fortitude needs to dig deep. Reach inside of him and pull out some marvelous masterpiece. He needs to improve on his performance here quite a bit if he wants to keep this even with Fly. The thing is, Last Refuge, that's supposed to be his best map.
Yep.
Echo Isles, our next one. I think he has to start playing fast expansion. I think if you're trying to fight one base for creeps on the map, trying to be efficient, Fly's just gonna outplay you hard. Expand, maybe? Try to get to 70 supply. Breakers, maybe? Perhaps that can work? Because in the normal standard game, I see very few chances for Fortitude right now.
Yeah, me too. At least to have a couple of stats here, maybe, to keep people interested. Fortitude has a 60% win rate against Orcs on Echo Isles. Fly against Human only 46%. So There's some numbers are speaking in favor of Fortitude, but yeah, he has to reset the entire series. He has to reverse sweep the scariest orc in the world.
Yeah, I think it's official now. Fly, definitely the strongest orc in the world right now. WCG, we saw it already. And with Lin and Focus here not making it through, he has that title to his chest. Some Americans might disagree and might put Hitman up there, and don't get me wrong, he's strong, but I think it's hard to play better than Fly right now. This is, I think, insanely impressive, what he's been able to do throughout all matches here in this tournament, and even before that at WCG. Fly is looking super hot at 100%, and his problems of the past, the inconsistency that had been plaguing him for years, we're not seeing it here at all in this tournament and over these last couple of months.
Indeed. The winner of this match goes up against the winner of Infi and Law Lion. I wouldn't mind to see Fly against Infi. A totally different style in how to play a human if Infi does it and Fortitude doesn't start the crazy comeback. Waiting for the next game to start. We're just moments away. Time for you guys to follow us on social media, maybe. Go to that Facebook page, to that Twitter account, to the IG. Go to the gram and hit the like buttons if you want to keep up to date with what's happening in the competitive Warcraft scene. We're pretty much there for you every single day with just very, very few excuses? No. What word am I looking for? Exceptions, exactly. Man, not even 9 a.m. It happens sometimes.
Yeah, it's a little early. It's not really light out yet, you know, dark time of the year. We're starting casting when it's still dark out, but no matter the hour, Neo, we don't mind if we have this level of competition. It's just such a joy to see these players perform. Even if Fly currently isn't being challenged, at least not too much by Fortitude, I still think it's really amazing to see him perform so well. Can he keep up this level of play? Can Fly play 5 maps in a row throughout multiple series without a single mistake? Maybe.
Crazy, dude. It's absolutely crazy. 3 match points in a row for Fly, spawning on the right-hand side, and for Fortitude, he's not really up against the ropes. He's just hanging in the middle of them, just waiting to be pushed out. He needs a plan B quickly. His early games were an absolute disaster. How does a game look if he can finally unfold a level 2 Archmage quickly? Can he do it here? What are the cheeky plays for Fly on the 3rd map?
Echo Isles, you know, Merc camps are available, but very hard to creep. We see Shadow Priests here sometimes coming in, but oftentimes it's the Orc actually stealing it with a Peon Scout. But again, Fly goes against the grain, where normally nowadays Peon Scout is pretty much the standard on this map. Fly doesn't do it. Like on AZ, he didn't play the standard. So far, the only super predictable opening that he followed up with the meta was Last Refuge, but then again, he came in with that insane Peon block, which again swung the momentum of the early game in his favor. So far, though, it is looking not too crazy until the Peon moves out. Wait, what? Warmill.
Is it happening, Remo? Will we finally, on day 6, see the Farseer Headhunters?
Oh my god. Somebody wake up Kiwikaki. This is a tremendous moment for him and for all the Orc Farseer Headhunter players around the world. If that is what it is. Ooh, the Shadow Priest. Oh boy.
Imagine Fly being so ballsy to Farseer Firelord tower push him on tier 2.
I mean, he's up by 2 maps, right? He can afford to take some risks right now.
Fly, by the way, with an insane lead in the fan voting there in China. It's not even close.
Yeah.
I think he has like 200,000 votes or something. And the second place is Xiaokai with... I have to look it up. With... oh no, it is 30,000 votes for Fly. 6,000 for the second place, that is Xiaokai. It's like 5 times the vote than the second place. And I guess this will increase throughout the rest of the tournament. Like, he's making his fan base very, very proud today.
Second Burrow only coming up now, so it's going to be quite a while until we see the Headhunters. That also means it's going to be a long time until Fortitude realizes this is Farseer Headhunters. Again, he's stuck on level 1, and with Fly being here with the Grunt, Farseer, and a Shadow Priest, it's so tough for Fortitude to creep anything at this moment.
Yeah. I'm curious if this really is Farseer Headhunters as he's opening up with the Grunt, or if it's just... if he was a little afraid of a tower push and just wanted to have it ready in just in case. So he's not building any Headhunters. He could definitely do that. But no.
I love, by the way, how Fly didn't dispel that Watch Elemental a second ago. He knew it was going to run out, but this one he will dispel, and now the Farseer is stuck with 0 mana on level 1, and by that I mean Archmages, of course. And that's a real feels bad, man.
He just figured him out so hard.
Oh my god, dude.
It's not that Human has no other weapons, of course, the Fortitude, but he doesn't even reach the stage where he can really pick his strategy. If he goes Rifle Casters or Mass Breakers or something, or Expansion. Like, you can't expand against that as well, right? Like, the Farseer is just there all the time.
Truly, truly impressive what Fly is showing us here. Even creeps the green away now, which means when Fly is going to have to fall back, which sooner or later he will with everything being hurt, even if he leaves, Fortitude can't creep this for level 2 now anymore. If he gets the Wolf, though...
He's going to resummon, isn't he? Doesn't even need that.
Oh, well, I guess this is actually going to be level 2 here. Just barely? Thank goodness.
Okay.
Thank goodness. Something.
Yeah, TC coming. Is he? Okay, he needs to heal, right? Before he can do anything. Fortitude's tech, actually not too bad. Production of the second heroes, pretty much at the same time. This, of course, is also due to the War Mill by Fly early on. Usually we have a big lead for the TC.
Yeah, that War Mill's still a mystery. We haven't seen it used just yet. Past level 2 for the Farseer. Chain Lightning! Oh, that was so close. He was almost there in time to steal the last hit.
Okay. Rifle cast is coming again. Fly also with the same builds on the tier 2 stage. We do have an early Headhunter.
So 2 Grunts into 1 Headhunter. That's something that Lin was showing a few weeks ago. Making a colorful mix between Grunts and Headhunters.
That's gonna be a weird army. 1 Grunt, 2 Headhunters, couple of Raiders. This would be pretty bad against Breakers, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Not too much damage against them. Usually you want Kodos, I suppose. But against... he has the War Mill in case it is Breakers for Kodos. But of course it's Rifles, as we see. Last hit. Oh, didn't get it with the Chain Lightning. Barely missed.
Okay, Fortitude is getting some ground in this game. Mercenary Camp Crab, TC with the Ring of Regen. Everybody likes that. Oh, Fly playing around this dangerously. Is it time for him to lose the hero and giving Fortitude a way back into this? It is costing a lot of mana for the MK. He needs to surround soon.
He needs to force this TP. Otherwise, this is so much wasted mana and time.
Yeah. Doesn't look like it, though. Plus 7 damage on the Archmage. Oh, no. It's nighttime. Calculated. Fortitude not going... He's calling Militia. He's not reaching. The swords are not long enough.
Oh, nothing's working, Leo. Nothing's working.
He can intercept now. In the end, this will be a TP forced.
That is the best TP of all time. That's so easily worth it.
That bought like a minute or something. Like more. 1.5 minutes.
Oh, he got bashed. That's so scary.
Creeps are trying to help.
Kobolds shouting out, 40! You can do it! and then they get killed right away for it. That's not very nice.
We're gonna help you. Well, if they backstab, no one likes traitors. MK level 2, only the ring. Misery continues.
Fly got the heal scroll and the invul, and he's got better levels, and he's got the map control with which he's gonna set up an expansion. But at least supply-wise, it's looking pretty good for 40. He's up at 50 already. Fly's taking a little bit longer, as of course he spent so much money on items. AM's getting level 3. MK's getting closer to 3. You know, it's the game's starting to look like a decent army. Yeah, decent little army right here.
The games for Fortitude keep getting better. Like, yeah, it was rough on Amazonia. It got a tiny bit better on Last Refuge. And now we even reached level 3. That's something. Once again, Brilliance Aura 2. Heal Scroll and Invul went to Fly, though. Is it time to fight again? Little supply deficit for the Orc, but a strong TC makes up for it.
Oh, Scroll the Beast. That's a lot of damage on these rifles. TC feels the burn right away. First Stomp, not ideal. TC dropping low. Is going to have to go for the Invul. Dodges the Stormbolt. Oh. Of course. We were expecting that one. But it's still tons of DPS on these riflemen.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we can save the TC actually. Clap. Mountain King also super low after that Chain Lightning. Has to get out. There wasn't enough mana for another clap. He gets purged! And he dies.
Ooh, the TC.
Just like that. Fly again with the sick save, just as he did on the Farseer before. And that's a huge... That's almost an entire level lead on the second hero on the carry of this army.
I think 40 let the TC or the MK die on purpose. He could have transferred the TP scroll, but then he would have been far away from the center of the map. Now the MK is dead, but he's in a good position to keep attacking. Question is, can he keep fighting without his second hero?
TC needs a lot of healing, so basically Fly is without a second hero as well. Lightning Shield therefore cast on the Raider without a Stormbolt. He is rather tanky against piercing damage especially. The grunts from the front line, they're falling, so are the Priests. The Expo is not finished. Fly is relying on the TC that is only now reuniting with the army.
Crucial moment here. Game deciding moment. The expansion, will it get cancelled? Looks like it will. TC trying to come in for the Stomp, but too late. Getting blocked by the Raccoon. Stomp comes through out of frustration, but everything survives.
Okay. We have ourselves a little bit of a series here as Fortitude finally gets an objective. He needs another one, though, and that's MK3. And if we take a look at the maps, where are creep spots? Rare. We only have the turtles bottom left. We have the murlocs right next to it. Do you have the time to go for it? Mountain King, super tanky, by the way. Has a potion. Fly still with a scroll, and he has the time for the turtle.
It's going to be TC getting close to level 4. Very valuable for that aura. Movement speed, attack speed. Very useful. Fly had the better map positioning to go for the items again from the merchant. But Fly is very broke. He lost tons of units. So first he wants to make some more... Wait a minute. How do you get that new heal scroll? I'm confused. Somehow the Farseer got the heal scroll. Must have been... This is kind of magic, I suppose. TC got the level 4. Another claws. Farseer not known to be the greatest claws carrier, but you know, he's a ranged hero. It's not bad. That damage will add up over time. Chipping and chipping away.
True. Maybe preparing one of the hero focuses we've seen so much. So, more creeping. TC is finding good levels, man.
Oh, the Farseer.
Mountain King far away for a second. That was the Stormbolt. Can he follow this up? Definitely looks like it. So now, how do you free this hero? I don't think you can. Nope, he's gone. Fortitude getting a hero kill. Very surprisingly, and the TC is surrounded, almost surrounded as well, trying to counter that heal scroll, but there is no TP. And just like... No. Archmage's in trouble now. What a save by Fly again. But things are not looking good. That's a 10 supply lead. He cancels the expansion once again.
Yes. Finally, Fortitude here getting something done. Seems like He's got a monumental lead, and this is looking really good for him. Fly is reviving his Farseer. Has to wait a long time for this one. Not looking once. Gets storm bolted and surrounded quickly there. 40 doing a good job closing that surround. So we saw Fly doing a really good job getting ahead and playing the leading position very well, closing out the games very effectively. Now he's far behind. Is he also perfect with this kind of a situation? Can he still get back?
Mana looking very good on the MK, by the way. And he's going for the burrows. They don't have reinforced defenses. They could die really quick. And Fortitude is already at 57. About to close this out, or willing to close this out. TC controlled once again, but his mana is also looking good. Once again, we operate with Lightning Shield. You can't really move against it when the Stomp is coming in. Got nerfed against heroes, not against units, so there was a dispel. But the AoE is still crazy. Fortitude counters that with a heal scroll. Raiders are falling, or at least very low. Dispels the Water Elemental and trying to deal with his TC now.
TC with a speed scroll, he could get away. Pops it there last second. And that must be almost enough time for the Farseer. Should be about to be back, but the TC is super low. Has to get back to the shop.
Fly playing on the edge. Fortitude not really necessary for him to risk too much at the moment. He can continue the siege, of course. He wants to make usage of the moments where the Farseer is away. And guess what? He's spawning right in his face. Can he do something with that?
Stormbolt. Could be the kill right there. Farseer, heal scroll, saves him just barely. Heal potion right after. Survives.
Almost a dieback. But the potion saves him. Very expensive. Heroes both low. TC got some mana again. Can he protect him somehow?
The Rifle Army is online. 2-0 upgraded. Strong Mountain King. 50 to 60 supply. That's where it shines. Stomp on the TC instantly. He might just be dead right now. Stomp comes through, but TC is falling. And that seems like the end.
Look at this. Fortitude fighting spirit. Never giving the series up. Trying his best. Okay, double kill. That's it. So,
GG.
GG indeed. We have ourselves a series here. Both Fortitude maps are gone now, unfortunately. So the last two remaining maps are the ones of Fly.
Nice to see here that Fortitude can shake off these losses and still perform very well on map number 3, where Fly this time didn't have it so easy. Was a really smart opening. He kept tons of pressure on 40. But at some point he was able to move across the map, and even despite losing the MK, was able to get the cancel. I think that was a really smart choice to not give over the TP, to let the MK die, realizing there was no mana left on Fly anymore, so he had to fall back, and then with the strength still available to the Rifleman, you can cancel the expansion. But Fly stayed in the game, tried to expand again, and I think if it hadn't been for that Farseer loss, he might have been in a good position. Yeah. He had 3-4 hero levels, he had really high mana, he could have been able to use his spells fairly effectively right there. That Squad of the Beast also was a big help, we have to say.
Definitely helped him survive the mid-game after not the greatest early game. Fly, after 4 maps in a row, finally, or 5 maps in a row, finally winning a game again. Losing a game again, sorry. It was a 2-0 over Michael, and here the 2-0 lead, and of course the game 3 against Xiaokai. Can Fortitude pick up the momentum here? Timings were good. Execution as well. Close hero saves. Maybe Fly a little too brave with the heroes. Always playing on the edge. Risking hero kills.
Yeah, it didn't get too many invulns this game. This is oftentimes the dangerous thing for human on this map. If once you lose map control and control of the shop, suddenly all the items are gone forever. But Fly lost so many units, he had to remake them. Tried everything here with his TC alone, but TC without Farseer, hard to do. And you know, once 40 gets 50 supply to 60 supply rifles with a few upgrades and MK high level, he is super scary.
Okay, we saw Fortitude leaving his position for a second. We've seen that against Lin as well, where it took a bit until the game started. Turtle Rock. For experienced Warcraft viewers, close position is not possible anymore, so don't expect a militia tower rush right away. It's gonna be spawns on opposite sides of the map.
It gave me a deja vu of WCA Grand Final against Yaws just a second ago. Fly against Yaws. Yaws 2-0 in the lead. Turtle Rock, close positions. We thought that must have been it, but then Fly, with all of his experience and just world-class play.
This is the series where I don't really know what you're talking about. That series never happened. But there was also the perfect game by Yaws in the winner bracket final, not the grand final, where Fly had absolutely no chance. Good old times. When we were streaming on, what was that page? Azubu.
Yes. Oh, man. That was something. Stressful event, but amazing games still. And all these years later, Fly is still in top shape. In fact, it was kind of only this year and sort of last year, but mainly this year, where Fly is once again proving to the world how strong he is. He was not considered a tier 1 player for a while there when he wasn't practicing that much, but now he's putting in the work again and looking terrifyingly strong. All the more impressive that Fortitude stays alive in this series, not getting 3-0 swept, and that's a little bit of a confidence booster as well. Fortitude realized, okay, he can do this if he gets his levels, if his game plan works out, if he cancels the expansion maybe. But of course, those were his maps. That was his map, Aquaz, and now we're going over to Fly's map. Turtle Rock, it was always a part of the map pool years ago back then, but it only recently has been reintroduced again. And here, at least I am not so familiar with the exact creep routes in this matchup, and creep routes are absolutely essential. Getting that level 2, how crucial has this been for the humans? On Turtle Rock, how easy is that to achieve? And how well can Fly prevent it? That's going to be a big determining factor.
Can you even prevent level 2 with a fast Farseer rush? Probably. But you can also creep so well with wolves early. So the timings here, the ins and outs. Of course, both players have been through 3 monthly qualifiers over at NetEase. So they are definitely more familiar with this than we are. Flyman, he's gonna make a little bit of a jump in the ELO ranking, possibly, but so far his opponents weren't the highest in Mikael and Xiao Kai. But if his shape continues like this, he is the best orc in the world, and he will create some distance between himself, Lin, and Focus with this quarterfinal run.
Especially if he should be the winner here. Halfway through map 3, I was like, okay, this is it. This is over. Yeah. We're going to have Fly 3-0 in the semis.
For sure.
Don't count out Fortitude. Did Fly perhaps count out Fortitude? Was he a little overeager? Did he not check the inventory? Did he not respect the Scroll of the Beast enough? Maybe there were some small mistakes in there. If there were some, they weren't too glaring. This was still a good performance by Fly, but same for Fortitude. And this could still be a very exciting best of 3. Turtle Rock, always really good for grunt creeping, especially if you have decent map control at the beginning stages of tier 2. The fact that you can creep the second hero solo with 3 grunts at the starting position red camp can be so good for Orc, and very, very hard to punish.
Really curious. Here, I mean, we could see a tower rush here as well. This doesn't have to be a straight up game. With Fortitude, I think... Is
he gonna bust out the Fire Lord now?
Fire like twice in a row? Like Tower Fly out of this tournament? That would be crazy.
Last map, by the way, would be Northern Isles.
Yeah, and then again the question, will we see an expansion or not? But let's go step by step. Really cool for Fortitude, man. It would have been heartbreaking if he just gets squashed 3-0 again in the playoff match against Orc.
Yeah, he's definitely making some waves here once more. The humans from China have not been looking too impressive lately. Fortitude was in a bit of a slump. Infi was race switching. TH isn't even qualified. Didn't even qualify for this tournament. So it was kind of the Koreans stepping it up. But guess what? In this tournament now, it's Chimiko and Sok not making it through the group stage. And the Chinese are stepping up on home soil when it counts most again. Fortitude is certainly having a tough one here so far against Fly. But Infi is also going to be represented. It's going to be our next match against Lawlight today.
Indeed. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. This could very, very well be the series of the tournament next. Looking forward.
It's going to be so much fun, dude. Infi looked killer against Night Elf. Lawlight looked killer against Human. And you know why that is? Because these two have been boot camping and practicing a ton together. Sharpening their skills for the group stage. And now they're going to go up against each other in the playoffs, which is really cool. Lots of mind games will be coming in. And that's going to be a kick-ass series, I am sure.
We also have another underdog at the end of the day. It's going to be WFZ versus Moon, the greatest of all time. The most successful player when it comes to prize money in all of 2020. And WFZ with his first playoff run in 4 years. And a little bit of an Undead Mirror clash of generations in 1-2-0 versus Mikhail. The current best Undead in Asia versus an old legend in the shape of the past decade, probably. But let's close this out first. It is still 2 match points back-to-back for Fly, but Fortitude is picking momentum, picking up momentum, is able to make this competitive. In the bottom, we see Fortitude in the blue for the Lao Pao Esports Club. And in the upper left, we get Fly on the same lane, not cross position.
There's still a little bit of RNG on Turtle Rock with the starting positions, but I think it's kind of cool nowadays. It's still fairly far across, but there's a little bit of variation between cross or same lane. In the past, of course, it used to be wild with being able to spawn close. Thank goodness that was changed at some point after the community was asking for it for years. It finally was, but some very strong and unique aspects of this map are still in place nowadays. The Watcher Ward still drops at the Merchant, giving you constant vision, which cannot be countered, cannot be dispelled, cannot be taken out in any way. We also have lots of red camp creeps. In general, tons of creeps, lots of consumables, lots of medium armor on this map. At the corner camps, at the reds, we also have big permanent items, plus a rune of healing. So Turtle Rock, a very, very unique map in our map pool.
Exactly. It's only played in WGL. Europe didn't really catch up in DreamHack. We still see Twisted Meadows. Interesting that they changed this up. And Turtle Rock has pretty much become the new Twisted Meadows. So looking forward to that. What will we see? Is it going to be a rush for the shop at some point? With a Blade Master, you could creep that immediately. Shouldn't really work with Archmage or Farseer. This, of course, a little bit of a throwback to all the old schoolers. Fly versus Infi on that map. Was it a PGL? Was it a WCG? Summon Wars, basically, between them. A legendary game.
Oh, and look at this. Fly is not harassing. He is freely giving level 2 for Fortitude.
Yeah.
Who goes green into Ogre. Gladly gonna accept this. It's a 2-farm tech, by the way. Very fast for the Human. Probably gonna go quickly into Rifleman.
Kinda expected this, as creeping is so easy with the Farseer. Just wants to make sure that the shop is not going to his opponent, and that's what he does.
But he doesn't get level 2 from it. He doesn't go double green into Harass. He goes 1 green into Harass. Oh, big last hit. Goes to the Archmage. And finally, the first time this series, Fortitude gets the early game the way he wants it. Fast level 2, don't get harassed, play with a bit of a level lead, and have that aura nice and quick.
Yeah, this is several minutes that he has more mana regen than in the 3 previous games. And he relies on that a lot. He wants to be aggressive. He wants to use Water Elementals as many times as possible to assert dominance early, to dictate the position on the map. Wolves again in the base. Arcane Tower 50%. This time no victims, just a little bit of mining time or lumber harvesting time. stolen. So this might delay an upgrade or something, but the tech is already on the way. The tower is there. This won't happen too often anymore.
Compared to the other games, it feels like Fly's wasting a little bit of time. He didn't prevent a level up. He didn't get a level up. He didn't kill anything. He didn't get any last hit steals. This opening build, I feel, is not looking as impressive as the other maps, but of course Fly doesn't have to play with a massive lead to get a victory. He can do it from any position. Last match with that deficit or being so far behind, it didn't work out anymore. But, well, this could be a very long game here. Trollrock, tons of creeps to go around, lots of mana potions to be found, Pendant of Energy, wonderful for an MK and a TC both.
Yeah. And what would it do to Fly if Fortitude ties this up? You get nervous then, for sure. 3 match points, 2 of them wasted. But let's go. First, TC second, this won't change. Mountain King second, that won't change. A little bit of the question, who creeps better than? And is, oh, last hit battle.
The AM got it. And
yep.
the item. This was really important. Otherwise this Farseer gets level 2, uses Chain Lightning, does lots of damage right there. Fortitude making big plays. Big players make big plays.
Coming back into this for sure. A little bit of damage more from the Archmage. Oh, look at this block. Speaking of big plays. Can't really use that grunt too efficiently now. And the MK is once again not too much later compared to the TC. Like half a build time or something.
And, you know, grunts are hurt already. They cannot creep very greedily right now. If the grunts were all full HP, maybe that TC would be going for the red camp. But Fly is going more towards the middle. It's going to take a medium-sized camp first, or a rather small one, I suppose. That Watcher Ward is going to be a big deal between the two bases. It's always a little rough to creep with melee units, much easier with ranged piercing, which Fortitude has with the rifles, and he can call militia as well to ensure he is getting this merchant.
Again, the same builds on both sides. Pretty much 4th time in a row. Nobody really changing it up. Fortitude insists that rifles are the thing! Fly going rogue with the Farseer, but Fortitude not closing that surround. There is another Stormbolt, but Farseer runs out of range. Give that wolf an extra snack today.
Again, a little surprise there, and looking at the Farseer right away at nighttime. Eats the Stormbolt, almost getting surrounded, and Fly for the first time looking almost doubtful of himself, perhaps. Yes. He's not contesting the middle anymore. He's going for this camp that is safer on his side, and that is the Watcher Ward to the human.
Not the perfect position as it is behind the tree line a little bit. So you can't really see if Fly is going for the red spot or not. And you can't really see if he's going for the shop or not. You can only see him coming at the bottom lane towards your base. But at least it doesn't go to Fly. Militia coming. See tier 2 expanding.
I think it's just for creeping. The lumber is looking really bad. Militia do a lot of damage here against these medium armored turtles. Good experience for the MK. It's not going to be quite level 3. The TC, I believe, is going to get it. This could be a strong timing for Fly if he might be able to take a fight soon. But hey, it is actually level 3 for the Mountain King and the big mana potion.
Again. Both second heroes with their important level ups. Heal Scroll and Invo Potion for Fortitude. Fly is moving in a way that he can get to a shop as well. Big item. And for him as well, the Invo Potions. All about the second heroes. Resources really low for Fortitude. He's constantly spending it. Fly floating in a little bit of gold. Maybe still waiting for the creep spot. Yeah, now spends it also. TC is really tanky. Archmage not level 3. Fly is trying to expand. Should be easily doable to kick it if you see it. Red spot and Creepjack.
TC has an invul, didn't dodge the first Stormbolt. Clap comes through. Oh, AM getting ensnared. That could be a quick TP forced. Stomp coming through. Archmage in trouble, but not focus fire on him. Purely TC into the bag. Lots of damage from him. Clap on the other side. Heal scroll being used early. TC now in trouble. Invul is there.
Okay, was stunned for a long time. Going for the Archmage now, but not the biggest effect here. Both are dashing through their consumables. Only the Invul Potion left on the MK. More focus fire on that. TC Militia coming in from the left-hand side. TC out of the fight. Mountain King kind of low. Dashes out another clap. Level 3 Archmage should be Aura 2 again. Who's losing more? We see Ensnares flying. We see a Chain Lightning, and Fly is giving up this position after catching just another Stormbolt. And losing just another Raider. With the time he bought for this expansion, was that worth it?
If it is coming through, perhaps yes, but will it be coming through? Fortitude close to scouting it.
There is a lot of rifles. That's a lot of piercing damage, plus that Water Elemental. If he moves to the left-hand side, it's probably the cancel. He does see it. No, it's daytime.
And I think that, yeah, that must be the cancel. Should be enough damage. Fly coming in, trying to buy time with the wolves. He wants to contest this. TC is still low HP.
Fortitude is moving away from this. Few right clicks. And he gives up this push. Little hesitant. Fly with another TP, but that's his only item to use.
Stormbolt on the TC again, focused, but only level 1 Stormbolt doesn't hurt that bad. And we have the clap coming through. Fortitude gonna TP out. He doesn't like the look of this fight.
Maybe a missed opportunity here. But maybe he values, he calculates this better than we do. Can't really afford to lose too many units. And maybe that was his fear, that Fly just loses the expansion but kills a lot of units and then pushes. Ooh, sharp on the bottom. Items go to Fly.
Fly's very concerned with being pushed here right away, but Fortitude has taken a moment to creep up a little bit more. Level 4 MK would be very valuable. Level 4 AM, not that much, but it's going to be a nice item here as well. Lots of good tank items here for the Mountain King. Pendant of Energy, also good.
On this map even, like, I would like a crystal ball, but I'm also lazy, so maybe not the best advice. Rat Spot. What's it gonna be for Fly?
Legion.
Legion Doomhorn, indeed. Even more movement speed. Is this the point where you have to go Sorks?
If we move beyond 55 supply, maybe. But Fortitude, he has to attack very, very soon. He knows the Expo is running against him.
Losing a grunt.
That heal ward, rune, I mean, gonna be very nice as well. But 40 knows that there was creeping going on. He's looking to creep Jack. But this origami is so fast. Very hard to catch.
Okay. He's forcing the fight now. Tiny supply lead. And faster reinforcements. But they will always end up in the back of things. Again, going for the Sork immediately. Lightning shield in the back. Not hitting the casters too much. Now we do. Disable only against the rifles.
Heal scrolls used here very quickly. All 3 have been used already. No more healing anymore. Level 4 for the Farseer. Stronger Chain Lightning with that now as well. Mana dropping low on the Orc side. The Mountain King still has plenty left.
He's waiting for the perfect opportunity. What's he going for? He's killing more Raiders here. 2 Riflemen about to fall. Can't really prevent that with the next Lightning Shield. Lots of Lightning Shield. And that Stomp was glorious. Getting a connection to 3, 4, 5 units. Mass murder on Fly's side. Fortitude dropping in supply. He needs to do something about this TC.
Now that the fight is so scrappy, the Wolves can be really good again. That Stormbolt seems a little wasted on the Farseer. Didn't do that much. TC getting focused next. Has the Invul though. And here come the Wolves. And now they are quite effective with some purges coming through. Fly's fighting a lot of kills. Stormbolt on the Farseer. He's in trouble. But guess what? He's got the TP. Oh my god. With 8 HP. He just barely gets out. Saves his first hero. Fly gonna heal up now. Supply super low for both.
Oh, Fly, though, has a 1,200 gold bank. Spend it, Fly! Spend it! Fortitude, with the forces so low, what can you really do about this expansion? Nothing, really.
4.6 on Farseer and TC. If these both make it to level 5, it's going to be super strong level ups. No magic immune breakers here.
Yeah.
Which would be unaffected. It's all about Rifleman.
All the fan votes clearly in favor of Fly. First 2 matches, demonstration of force. Then Fly started to shake, but a strong comeback here. And it's again the carry TC. He has invul potions, mana potions, heal potions. He's tanky. What can stop the cow?
Yeah, it looks like he's running around with a speed scroll as well, by the way.
Yeah.
With this plus 30% move speed. And he's just looking for kill after kill. Got the mana potions, he's getting storm bolted. But 1200 HP, you're not taking out that cow. No stake today. More and more rifles getting gunned down, ironically. And Fortitude, I think, he's seeing the writing on the wall.
Level 5.
Double level 5. And that must be it.
Okay, Fortitude probably losing his second series against ORC in the Gold League. That is almost a double kill here. Oh, imagine the fireworks if he kills both with the chain lightning, but the mana isn't there. Surround on the Archmage. This is absolute game! Fortitude not able to kill the Horde because there's a new War Chief in town. And Fly makes it into the semi-final.
Fly looking at least as ferocious as that dog on his sweater. Absolutely amazing performance. On Echo Isles, Fortitude had a great game, and Fly maybe making tiny mistakes to allow Fortitude to get back there, but especially map 1 and 2 were brutal.
Yeah.
With no chance for Fortitude. On 12 Rock, we saw a very close game. That was right on the edge through many parts of that map. But Fly shows his strength, shows his class. The WCG champion into the semifinals. The only orc stays alive in the top 8.
Fortitude can still be very, very proud of him. He caused waves here in the tournament. Nobody expected him really to do that well in this crazy group with 1-0, the DreamHack Fall champion, with Lin, the greatest orc of all time, and Focus coming hot off the NEXT championship. But he showed his class definitely and made it out over Focus and over Lin. And he's back in the top 10 of the world. Maybe next week at DreamHack we're gonna see more from him. But Fly, is he on the way to the next gold final? He's been there twice. One time he won, one time he was defeated. Pretty clearly, to be honest.
Enjoying these highlights a lot. This was super high level play. Great micro moves by both sides. Using the heroes exactly the way they're supposed to. With the invuls and heal scrolls. Perfectly coming through. Extremely close.
This is actually the first time since summer of 2018 that it's a semi-final for Fly. Back then he made it all the way to the final. Was defeated by TH in a very, very one-sided final. We'll be facing Lawlight or Infi. The match against Infi could be a match of 2 players who've been at every single Gold League. There's only 3 of them.
I think regardless of who makes it through there, it's going to be a great semi-final. Infi versus Lawlight. That is next match coming up. Should be a very close one. Will be very interesting to see what the 2 practice partners play against each other. They have been pushing each other and improving with the help of the other over the last few weeks. But only one can make it to the semis.
Okay, 70% of the people here in the vote were right. And we put on a new vote for the next match that is coming up. After the winner interview, of course, we're going to be supported by Wong and Vangolia to give you insight to the thoughts of Fly, who will be on stage with BBC in a moment. Man, these matches today, so looking forward to this day. In my opinion, this day can last forever. Here you see the matches. Infi vs Lawlight coming up. Undead Mirror 1-0 versus Mikael, and Moon versus WFZ. Interesting quarterfinals. New quarterfinals for sure.
Yeah. Especially the fact that WFZ made it through in first place. Nobody would have thought that with Group D. and Mikhail made for a bit of a surprise. I think we mentioned it yesterday, right? The first time ever we have 3 undeads in the top 8 for WGL for the Gold Series.
First time ever that Mikhail does it. It's only his 3rd Gold League, actually. But that will be a topic for later. Wong and Bengolia are ready. Guys on stage, not so much. Did you get inspired inspired by Kiao Lin's shirt, by the way, wearing the red?
Almost looks like we were making these plans together, but no, we just seem to be connected that way. Missing that silver tie.
Right, here we are. Our first winner interview, our first semi-finalist. Fly, after 2.5 years, is back in the top 4 of the Gold League. Very, very well deserved, for sure. The biggest fan base in China of all the participating players. And he stopped the slaughter of the Horde to the hands of Fortitude. And that is also our first question. Fortitude beat Lin before. He beat Focus yesterday. He really showed this tournament how good he is in the matchup. So, what did you do different, and what was your research like? Well, of course, before the matches, I studied the games of his versus Lin and Focus. And yeah, I definitely agree that he's very, very good against ORC. And he has his very own style with the rifles. Nonetheless, Fly, it's in the end a 3-1 for you. Your micro, your multitasking, and the big fights looked really, really good. What's the reason for that? Especially the control of your TC, the positioning. Especially. Well, in the matchup Orc versus Human at the moment, hero micro is really important. Both sides need to dive deep for the area of effect, so the TC has to be in the middle of the army. Mountain King needs to be in the middle of the army. And then you have to move back your army in case your opponent's hero is trying to do his spell. In fact, for this match, I changed my hotkey. Interesting. Would love to know what he changed. Special prep. Third map, Echo Isles. We saw you want to expand, but your Farseer got caught. If that doesn't happen, do you think you win this? What do you think about that moment? Well, my expansion was cancelled once, so I made a mistake. I misjudged the situation. I didn't really need to defend that second base, but I did. And yet it was cancelled, so yeah, that defense wasn't the best. Fan question. It seemed to have fun there. At the WCG, Lee, that is Fly's wife, said you can go traveling alone if you win the tournament. If you win this WGL, will you start the travel immediately? Well, my wife would let me travel, but it isn't exactly safe to travel, and I'm on a budget, so it's not really enough money for the travel. So, okay. Fly's wife is definitely in control of the war chief. And Fly is in the semifinal. Fortitude, great tournament, but eliminated. We got a couple of supporters here. Once again, we keep the feed clean. So during the games, you are not, or your viewing pleasure is not interrupted by alerts. So we postpone this until the end of the series. Thank you very, very much. Ebo Zyxa for the 5-month resub. Fake Plastic Tea, 19th sub. Been watching you guys since the Jera Cup days. Happy to be able to support when I can. Thanks for hours and hours of entertainment. Thank you very much, man. We know money is tight for many people, so much appreciated. Also, Toan Tran, 10 euros. You guys are the best. Happy holidays. What holidays? Is there holidays? We're casting. I mean, it's Warcraft holidays, right? It's Warcraft festivities. 10 euro donation. Yeah. Much love. Elmatic with a sub. Lots of subs. Underwood Frank. Stylecraft. Nawizi Bachi. Less than 3. Have a nice weekend, everyone. Yo, 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 VVV. 5-month resub. Thanks for all the entertainment. Greetings from the Rocket Beans community. Good luck in the clan war later. Lolicha, thank you for the host. Freddy. Friedolf, MGL, Redline GT, and the in-game time show. Thank you very much for your subs. If you want to be as cool as these guys, hit that sub button. Throw us a donation whenever you can via with Streamlabs. PayPal is working and credit card as well. That is much appreciated. We rely on the community support to keep the Back to Warcraft engine running. You can also help us by buying some merchandise over at the Streamlabs merch store. And if money is a little tight at the moment with these COVID times, you can definitely help us out without it though. Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Discord. Spread the word about our content, like our content, share our content, comment on our content. Let us hear the community's voice. And speaking of community voice, we will put up a poll now. You can use your channel points. And that is who wins? Question mark. Infi. Lawliot. Submission. You got 10 minutes starting right now. So use the break, get some extra sweet breakfast, do your prediction, and read the about section and see how you can do your part in supporting Back to Warcraft. We're going to be back with the second quarter final. Who's going to be Fly's opponent in the semifinal? It's Infi versus Lawlight.